Sunrise promises. Characters. Frieda, a creative, fashion-forward woman in her late 20s who finds beauty in the little things. She enjoys experimenting with her style and thrives on adventure. Erin, a spirited artist with a warm heart and a contagious laugh. She's known for her green eyes and love for nature, often expressing herself through her art. It's said that every ending is just a new beginning, and in that delightful dance between chaos and calm, Frieda was about to embark on an unexpected journey one fall morning. Frieda woke up before dawn, her mind racing with dreams that made little sense but felt profound. She rose from her quilted bed, the air cool against her skin, and stretched beside her wide window that framed a world dusted with fog. The muted colors and the smell of damp earth invigorated her spirit. Today, she felt like embracing the morning. Dressed in a warm, orange sweater that mirrored the leaves outside and soft black leggings, Frieda grabbed her favorite tote bag adorned with quirky patches. She slipped on her worn-in boots and headed toward her favorite coffee shop, eager for interaction after a week of solitude. Inside the cozy coffee shop, a golden light danced on the polished wood, illuminating a few scattered patrons. Suddenly, she spotted Erin, the captivating woman she'd noticed in town, an artist known for her vibrant murals. Freed from her shyness, Frieda approached with a smile. "Hey. Mind if I join you?" Erin looked up, her eyes sparkling with delight. "Not at all. I was just thinking how nice it'd be to chat with someone." After placing their orders, Frieda choosing her usual hazelnut latte and Erin opting for a spiced chai, they exchanged stories about their mornings and lives as they waited for their drinks. "You know, I love to paint the sunrise," Erin confessed, a familiar warmth painting her cheeks. "There's something magical about the colors that emerge." Frieda hesitated for a moment. Was it too bold? A part of her urged her to let go of the shyness that had followed her. "What if we go watch it together?" The proposal hung in the air, and Frieda held her breath, nerves tingling. Erin's smile widened, and she nodded vigorously. "Absolutely. Let's do it." With lattes in hand, they dashed to the nearby hill that offered a perfect vantage point. The sky shifted from a deep indigo to a breathtaking canvas of pink and gold, filling Frieda with awe. They sat side by side on the grass, sipping their drinks as they watched the spectacle unfold. "This is perfect," Frieda breathed, her heart racing. "It really is," Erin replied, their shoulders brushing together as she turned to face Frieda. The closeness ignited an electric thrill, making the air feel thicker with unspoken words. The sun rose higher, illuminating their surroundings, but their conversation began to deepen. They laughed and shared stories, discovering the small similarities that intertwined their lives. This wasn't just a chance encounter, it felt like a destined meeting. As they explored the park nearby, their laughter echoed among the trees. They took turns teasing each other while playfully splashing in puddles left by last night's rain. Frieda felt light-hearted, like she was unraveling the layers of herself she didn't even know were tightly wound. In one moment, Erin caught Frieda's gaze and held it fiercely, creating a moment thick with understanding. "You have such a beautiful soul," Erin said softly, the sincerity pulling on Frieda's heartstrings. "And you have a light that brightens up any dark corner," Frieda replied, her voice barely above a whisper. After a day of adventure that included picnics in the park and a spontaneous visit to a local art gallery, they found themselves sitting together by the lake. It was serene, and the soft breeze carried whispers of the day's joy. Frieda plucked a wildflower and tucked it behind Erin's ear, their fingers brushing. Erin felt her stomach flip, and she met Frieda's gaze, her heart pounding with a blend of excitement and trepidation. "Can I tell you something?" Frieda asked, her voice trembling slightly. "Of course," Erin replied, her expression earnest. "I feel like I've known you much longer than just today. Being around you feels right." Before she could second-guess herself, Erin leaned closer. "I feel the same way." The world faded around them as they closed the distance in sweet anticipation. Their lips met softly, tenderly, igniting a world of intense emotions. The kiss deepened, and the weight of their connection transformed the moment into something eternal. "I'm glad I met you today," Erin breathed, resting her forehead against Frieder's. "Me too. This day, it's made me believe in something more." Frieder beamed, her heart open to possibilities she'd never considered before. As twilight crept in and stars began to dot the sky, they sat together, wrapped in a blanket of comfort and the promise of more adventures. No longer were they just two women who happened to meet, they were two souls on a journey, exploring not just the world around them, but the beauty of a shared experience and blooming affection. With each passing moment, Frieder and Erin knew they were embarking not just on a new chapter of their lives, but a colorful story woven with laughter, love, and a bright, shared sunrise waiting to unfold. As the dusk settled over the lake, Frieder and Erin sat wrapped up in each other's presence, the glow of the setting sun casting soft shadows around them. Friday's heart raced not just from the kiss they had shared, but from the realization that she was truly falling for this woman she barely knew. The air turned cooler, and Erin instinctively snuggled closer, inviting Frieder to share warmth beneath the shared blanket. "What do you think tomorrow will bring?" Erin mused, her voice soft, gaze drifting to the horizon where the sun had disappeared, leaving the sky splashed with purple and indigo. Frieder smiled, her heart fluttering. "I don't know, but I hope it involves paint-covered fingers and maybe some more of those delicious cupcakes from earlier." She teased lightly about their earlier dessert adventure, where they had indulged in red velvet cupcakes on a whim. Erin laughed, brightening the cool evening air. "Deal. But only if we can paint together afterward. I'd love to see how you interpret the sunrise we watched today." Frieder felt a thrill at the idea, getting to express herself through art with Erin felt exhilarating. "I'd like that. But fair warning, I can only draw stick figures." "Not everyone can be an artist," Erin replied with a wink, laughter dancing in her green eyes. "And who needs perfect when there's fun to be had?" As the moon began to rise, bathing the lake in a silver glow, they decided to take a leisurely stroll along the water's edge. Their fingers brushed against one another, the sensation sending sparks down Frieder's spine. She glanced sideways at Erin, who looked ethereal under the moonlight, her hair catching the silvery sheen. "Tell me about your art," Frieder ventured, her curiosity piqued. "What inspires you?" Erin's expression brightened, making her look even more alive. "Everything. Nature is a huge inspiration for me, especially sunsets and sunrises. But emotions. Those are the most vibrant colors I work with." She paused, considering her next words. "I try to capture feelings like joy, love, and even heartache on canvas. I want people to feel something when they see my work." Frieder contemplated the weight of that statement. For Erin, art was a deeper reflection of the heart. "I'd love to see it sometime," she said earnestly. "I'd enjoy that." "Just promise not to judge," Erin laughed, brushing her hair back behind her ear. "I'm still evolving." "Evolving is good," Frieder said, a gentle sincerity in her voice. "It means you're growing." They reached a secluded spot by the water, where trees draped their branches low, creating a friendly embrace. Frieder plopped down onto the cool grass and leaned back, staring up at the stars as they twinkled to life, watched over by the moon, nearly full and glowing. Erin joined her, their shoulders pressing against each other, both finding solace in the shared silence. "Do you believe in fate?" Frieder asked, her mind wandering to how serendipitous today had been. Erin pondered for a moment, then replied, "I think everything happens for a reason. Like us meeting today, it feels like the universe nudged us together." Frieder's heart skipped a beat. "You know, I was feeling a bit lost before I met you. It's like you helped me find a piece of myself I didn't know I was missing." Erin turned, their eyes locking in the soft moonlight. I feel that way too. It's strange, isn't it? How quickly a day can change your life. Frida nodded. Definitely. What happens next for us, though? Erin took a breath, the tension between them palpable. I hope this is just the beginning. I want to explore whatever this is with you. Frida's breath hitched, the sincerity in Erin's voice resonating with her deep down. I'd like that. Very much. Erin's smile shimmered like the starlight, and before either of them could second-guess it, they leaned in, embracing the moment again as their lips met. This kiss was different, filled with longing, promise, and an understanding that they were on the brink of something special. They lingered there, savoring the sweet electricity that crackled between them, knowing that tomorrow held the potential for more laughter, more exploration, and more of the beautiful connection they had started to build. Eventually, they pulled away, and the world around them came rushing back. Let's get home before the moon sets, Frida said playfully, breaking the spell of enchantment while standing up and brushing the grass off her clothes. Okay, but let's promise to meet for breakfast first thing, Erin replied, standing beside her with a playful nudge. Deal. Frida laughed, their fingers intertwining as they began walking back. As they strolled hand in hand toward Frida's apartment, the air buzzed with promise and anticipation. They discussed everything from favorite movies to bucket list adventures, the laughter flowing easily, each moment deeper than the last. When they reached Frida's doorstep, she turned to Erin, her heart pounding. Good night, Erin. Thank you for today. Thank you for coming into my life, Frida, Erin replied, her voice tinged with warmth. They shared one last lingering gaze, both wondering how they had clicked so seamlessly. Frida knew that when she stepped inside her apartment, she wouldn't just be closing a door but opening another to a new chapter of her life, one filled with art, laughter, adventure, and perhaps a love story that was just beginning to unfold. Under the watchful eye of the stars, their futures intertwined like threads in a tapestry, each promise whispering that this was simply the start of something beautiful. As Frida closed the door behind her, she leaned against it for a moment, a dreamy smile on her face. The warmth from Erin's touch still lingered on her skin, and her heart raced with the thrilling possibilities of what tomorrow might bring. She felt a bubbling excitement that hadn't been present in her life for quite some time, a flutter of hope that whispered she was on the brink of something profound. Unable to contain it, she danced around her living room, imagining her day stacked with colors, laughter, and new experiences alongside Erin. The night passed quickly as she replayed their moments together in her mind, feeling a mixture of giddiness and calm settle deep in her chest. The next morning dawned bright and clear, a perfect canvas for new adventures. As the sun streamed through her window, Frida awakened with a renewed sense of purpose. She quickly prepared for her day, choosing a soft, lavender dress that complemented her figure. After putting on a touch of mascara and a hint of lip gloss, she grabbed her tote bag, anticipating a day of laughter and creativity. Frida headed to the coffee shop, a mix of anticipation and nerves swirling within her. As she entered, the familiar aroma of freshly brewed coffee greeted her like an old friend. She spotted Erin at their usual table, her radiant smile instantly lifting Frida's spirits. Today, Erin wore a light denim jacket over a sunflower-patterned dress that hugged her figure just right, adding a playful touch to her natural beauty. Good morning, Frida exclaimed as Erin lifted her gaze, her expression lighting up like the morning sun. Morning, sunshine, Erin replied cheerfully, waving her hand in the air like a child. I was just wondering if you'd show up. I saved us our special spot by the window. Frida chuckled, her heart swelling with affection. I wouldn't miss it for the world. They filled their mugs with steaming drinks, opting for fresh pastries that made the moment feel just a bit more indulgent. As they settled in, they began swapping ideas for their day. I thought we could start with a quick painting session at my studio, and then maybe we can explore the local market afterward. Erin proposed, her enthusiasm infectious. Frida nodded eagerly, her creative spirit igniting. That sounds perfect. I can't wait to see how you turn the sunrise into a masterpiece. She felt a thrill at the thought of being part of Erin's world, sharing their creative energies and insights. Sipping her latte, she felt at ease, almost as though they had known each other for years rather than hours. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, the laughter coming easily as they shared stories about their lives, Erin's tales of adventurous trips to art fairs and Frida's fond memories of spontaneous late-night escapades with friends. After savoring each moment of their breakfast and finished drink, they set off to Erin's studio, which was a cozy, sunlit space filled with art supplies, canvases, and the smell of paint. Easels stood proudly, adorned with partially completed works that hinted at Erin's talent and imagination. "Welcome to my sanctuary," Erin announced, sweeping her arm out in a grand gesture. Frida was captivated. "It's beautiful." She looked around, noting bright splashes of color that danced along the walls, each piece an intimate reflection of Erin's artistic journey. Erin began gathering brushes and paints, her excitement palpable. "Okay. Let's capture the essence of our sunrise experience. I want you to paint too, don't hold back. It doesn't need to be perfect." Frida's heart fluttered with a complicated mix of nerves and exhilaration. "All right, but I warn you, my artistic skills are definitely rudimentary at best." "Oh, pish-posh. It's about the experience, not the outcome," Erin reassured her, handing her a palette and a brush. "Just let your imagination flow, and we'll see what happens." As they stood side by side, surrounded by the vibrant colors and intoxicating smell of paint, Frida felt an exhilarating freedom. She dipped the brush into bright hues and began to paint, losing herself in the strokes while glancing occasionally at Erin, who was intensely focused on her own canvas, capturing the spirit of the previous day. Time passed effortlessly, and laughter punctuated their creative session as Frida's apprehension melted away, replaced by sheer joy. They experimented with colors, occasionally playfully flicking a dab of paint at each other, adding an element of playful mischief to their artistic adventure. Erin was in her element, guiding Frida with gentle encouragement, and Frida found herself soaking up every moment like it was a burst of sunshine on her skin. Hours later, they stepped back to admire their creations. Erin's canvas was filled with swirls of warm oranges and soft pinks that evoked the sunrise, a masterpiece that conveyed emotion effortlessly. Frida's painting was more abstract, colorful strokes that wove together like a tapestry, expressing feelings she couldn't quite articulate. "Oh, I love yours," Erin exclaimed, enthusiasm lighting up her eyes. "It's so vibrant and full of life. It feels like it's alive." Frida blushed, feeling proud despite her initial timidness. "Thank you. I had more fun than I thought I would." "Good, because I want us to create more together. We should do this regularly," Erin suggested, her excitement contagious. "I'd love that. How about we do themed painting days, one for every season?" Frida proposed, her eyes sparkling with inspiration. "That's a brilliant idea." Erin grinned, already brainstorming. "We can incorporate nature, food, colors, everything we love." After packing up their supplies, they decided to head to the local market Erin had mentioned during their breakfast. The market was vibrant with life, vendors proudly displaying their handmade crafts, fresh produce, and baked goods. As they meandered through the stalls, the sun hung high in the sky, warm against their skin. They sampled cheese from a local dairy and fresh fruits bursting with flavor. Frida marveled at the variety of artisanal bread while Erin made a beeline for the flowers. "Frida, look at these. They would look incredible in your apartment," Erin exclaimed, sinking into a pile of sunflowers, zinnias, and lavender, her eyes twinkling with delight. Frida gently took a sunflower and turned it into a playful hat, which made Erin burst into laughter. "You look ridiculous." Erin teased. And fabulous. Frida shot back, grinning wide. After purchasing a selection of flowers, they found a small cafe nearby where they could enjoy a light lunch. As they sat outside, sipping iced teas and sharing a gourmet sandwich, the chemistry between them simmered beneath the surface, occasionally leading to teasing remarks and soft glances that lingered just a moment longer than necessary. "This is the best day I've had in a long time," Frida confessed, her heart softening with gratitude. "Me too. It's like a breath of fresh air," Erin replied, visibly glowing. As they finished their meal, Frida felt a shift, as if the air between them had thickened with unspoken promises. Erin, sensing the moment, leaned in closer. "You know, I can't help but feel we're embarking on a beautiful journey together." Frida's pulse quickened. "I feel that too." Erin reached across the table, gently placing her hand over Frida's. The warmth of their connection radiated through her fingertips, melting away any lingering hesitation. She studied Erin's eyes, vibrant and full of hope, and felt drawn to her in a way that was both thrilling and comforting. "I don't know where this is going," Erin began, her voice steady yet slightly vulnerable, "but I'd love to explore it with you." Frida swallowed hard, overwhelmed with emotion. "I'd love nothing more. Today has shown me what it feels like to connect with someone, to really connect. I want more of this, of us." They shared a moment, their hands on the table, fingers entwined, a simple gesture that felt weighty, filled with promise. As laughter mingled with the gentle buzz of the cafe, they both knew that what had begun as an unassuming fall day had transformed into something remarkable. The possibilities ahead shimmered like sunlight on the lake, inviting them to dive deeper into each other's worlds, hearts intertwined in a beautiful dance of discovery. Together, they finished their drinks, laughter echoing in the colorful marketplace and hope blossoming as they stepped back into the world, together.